So let me take this opportunity to show you on the basic side. I don't know if any of you tried that. You only tried one part of it, employee and the employer. Okay, so let's see if we can try that, if we can work that out. Okay, I have 1st Jan 22 and I create SP employee PF contribution. And this is from the classifications, you can make out what type of classification it will be, right? This is something which will be deducted from the person's salary. So it is more like voluntary deductions. Okay. Or you could also have, depending on your legislation, some legislations give you pre-tax deductions. Okay. You can take that off before the calculation of the taxes. But for now, let's just to keep the things easy, let's just keep it as voluntary and the voluntary deductions. And this will be a recurring element. And the last standard process, GBP, I can say. And save it. I go to input values. So the first one is by default the pay value. I add another one, let's say employee contribution. Let me just say contribution. This can be a percentage. So because it is a percentage, I will have it as a number. And I will take the database item. I might make it required. And I could put a default, let's say 12.33%. How much is your PF contribution? Minimum you can put like 10, maximum you can put like 22, let's say. And error means it will not allow you to proceed till it is fixed. Warning means it will allow you to proceed. Now, along with this, there is also a concept of a voluntary provident fund. Has anybody, is it there prevalent in CTS? Can you do a voluntary contribution? Right. So over there, you can do a maximum of 20%, right? So there's a ceiling on that. You can go up to a max of 20%. So maximum, let's say 20%. All these will be calculated on the basic. So my element is now created, which is the PF contribution. Along with the PF contribution, I'll have one employee employer PF contribution. So SP employer PF con, and here you will find different classifications are there. And there is one classification called employer charges, which is like what the employer is contributing. Okay. Clear, everyone? And we know about this recurring, non-recurring types of termination, different options here, multiple entries will be allowed or not, and we can untick them and anything else. And here, this is by default input values. We'll keep this clean. We'll not have any contribution here because that we will take from a another thing why we will not have it here is employer contribution is usually fixed across the company, right? Everybody company will contribute at a particular level, 8.33 or whatever it might be, right? Whereas employee contribution may vary from employee to employee depending on their contribution, right? Somebody may opt for a higher amount. So earlier days, nowadays people usually don't opt for higher amounts, but earlier days, our parents and all, they used to contribute a lot on the employer to the provident fund. There was tax benefits, and it was like a long-term savings. They could plan for the child's marriage, studies, and all that by contributing. Yeah, that's also another reason. Yes, interest is low. You have alternative channels now, right? Earlier, there were not so many channels where you could earn more, higher than that. So you had this done, right? Now, what we will do is, where we'll take this employer contribution is, we will take it from the global value. You remember we had talked about global values? So I'll say SP employer EMPR contribution. Okay, so we'll say employer contribution percentage. This will, again, you can have a list. Okay, choose the number, and you can put a default value 8.33, let's say, and then we save it. So our now global value is done. Okay, anyone, any question? Anyone, any question?
I have a question, may not be related to application.
Hmm.
If I, this is employer contribution, right?
Hmm.
But if my employee contribution is even lesser than this, how does that work?
There is a rule, you can't go below that amount. It has to be like usually what happens is employer matches what employee contributes. Okay, that was the original concept. Nowadays, employer contribution also gets added to a CTC, right? In the traditional organizations, or where they don't have a CTC concept, the employer will match the employee contribution. So the employee, if he goes low, if he goes, let's say 2%, employee will contribute 2%. He will get less. Employee will get less. Hmm. Oh, is it? Okay. Hmm. But isn't there a statutory requirement that minimum has to be this much?
Yeah, minimum that yeah.
Oh, that 2% is minimum, is it?
Yeah, somewhere.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have done this so far. Everybody okay? Anyone, any question? Nilanjana, you still there? Yeah, okay, just making sure. So now we'll do a formula here. Employee PF calc, let's say. The formula type will be Oracle payroll. And what we are going to have here is let me use a notepad to do this. Okay, it's easy. Or let me just so what I have to do is I have to get the basic salary first, right? And I have to get the global value. I have to get the input values, right? So input value is, we have two of them. One is percentage and one is voluntary. And if the alias for this one, the basic salary is basic, then we'll say employee is equal to percentage basic into percentage divided by 100, and employee voluntary is basic into voluntary divided by 100, and then we have employer is equal to basic into what will it be? Yes, anyone? Into the global value, right? So whatever we had in the global value, that will be used to calculate your employer contribution, right? And then we will return employee, voluntary, and employer. Okay. Now we can also have a total, okay, something like ET. That means it is the total of employee plus voluntary. If I don't have a separate element for voluntary, right now I don't have one. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it, clubbing them together, and I will put it into the pay value of the employee contribution element. Okay. And I can put a message here to say employee contribution And if I also want to show the total, then I will add total employee contribution here. So in the message, you can pass all the information that you want to show. Okay. Everybody fine with this? The only thing we have to plug in now is our global value and the basic here, and we can give the alias basic as SP basic because ESG value or something. ESG entry value as basic, and forgetting the name. So employer. So this will be employer contribution. Okay. AMPR contribution alias, and we'll put a there shouldn't, we are putting a value there, so it's mandatory, no need for a default. This should work. So let me just double check on the item names, the database items. So SP basic is G. Oops. Oh, monthly amount it was, okay. So monthly amount, so this is the recurring value. This is the one, see description database item for this. So this is the employer contribution. This is what it was for. Okay. Should be good. The only other thing is the percentage and the voluntary. Let me just double check on that. We created the okay. So this was called as contribution. Right? We have contribution, and I think voluntary. And voluntary. Okay. So this is the part. Voluntary is okay. This should be contribution. Inputs are okay. Now let's try to verify percentage was used. Oh, to avoid any confusion. Okay. So our formula successfully compiled. Everybody Okay, any questions, anyone? Yes, Mukesh. Yes, Mukesh, you want to say something? Hello? Yes, yes, Mukesh, I will do that. Don't worry, I will do it. Anything else, Mukesh? Okay, okay. Oh, I thought you had a question about this. All right. So, before we disperse today, I will give you, okay, and there is also one pending task that all of you need to do regarding the feedback. So that is also equally important. So share my desktop again. So we are done with this formula definition part. Next, we have to link our formula results. So we go to the employee. Okay. So which one? Employee Provident Fund. Okay. So once you have this one, you can put the active, okay, active assignment, and formula will be your employee PF calc. Okay. I save it. Now my formula results. We all know what, oh, I didn't return the message. Let me just, okay, I'll have to, let me go back and do it first. All right. So here I'll go to the formula results. And so I have the message here, which will be like a message, and, information, and the total is the employee and the voluntary contribution total. So that will go as a direct result into my pay value. Now, can anybody tell me where will the employer contribution go, or how will it go? Yes, anyone? Yes, very good. So this is the employer one. We'll have to put it as an indirect result. An indirect result, where it will go? It will go into the elements. Where is that element? Why is it not coming? Employee card. So it should appear over here. Okay. So let me just see this. So here what is happening, see this priority of this one is 3500, okay, whereas priority of this one is 6500. So this comes later. So what we have to do is this one we have to make it after the employee contribution, next higher number, number higher than that, let me say it this way. So sorry, we go back to the same place again, formula results. So now I got my employer provident fund here, okay, and here it should go into my pay value. There is only one input value on my element, so it will go there directly. Everybody clear about this? Everyone? Everyone? Anyone got any question? All right.
Priority, right?
Correct, correct. Because see, the logic is this way: unless this element is processed, this element cannot be fed. So that's the reason.
Direct one should always be higher than that.
Correct. It will come later. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll go and assign the element to our employee. Okay. So which employee do we have here? Let's see. Which person? Oh, Mr. I'm just checking whether there is a termination on this person. No, these are employees. Okay, so there shouldn't be an issue. 4th August. Okay, and so if I now alter effective date to today's date, so from 5th August, the person is assigned to the payroll. Oh, salary basis is not there. So I have to give a salary to the person. Let's see, is there no salary is there? Add new salary. Let's keep it as today's date. This is the first one, so it will be approved. And let's give it 5,000 pounds. When we go to the entries, we find the basic salary has been calculated, has come in. We'll also have SP HRA. HRA has a default of 50%. In case we want to change it, we'll do it. Otherwise, we'll leave it alone. Employee Provident Fund contribution. Entry values. Oh, the other thing I forgot was element link. That is a very common issue that we have. And let me go to total compensation. Okay, employee contribution. And I'll just save it so that everybody is eligible for it. SP, employer contribution. This also everybody is eligible for it. And, go back to the person again. Reset. So I'll just go and double check. Yes, we have done this. And the SP employee contribution, PF. And under entry values, see this 12.33 is the default, and voluntary we can, let's say, make it 20%. If I try to put anything else, because there is a maximum, system will say it's error. But it can take anything from 5 to 10 to 15 or whatever. Okay. All right. Now the next step is then we go to quick pay, and let's run the one for regular. This is the one for August. Yeah.
For each and every employee, this is the only way we have to do it. Let's say that I have
Okay, let's reload again. Manually, you have mass update, you have APIs, right? You can use APIs. So, anyways, somewhere or the other, there has to be an entry, whether in Excel. So users might give you in Excel also. And then from that Excel, you run a program, load it into the mass update, and then do it. What happened? SP monthly payroll. Oh, did I go to 23? Okay, so I have this. So go down to okay. Oh, I've gone to 23. Okay, so regular, save it. Oops. So there is a incomplete pass process. So what we can do here is, now system is not allowing you to do it because there is some process which is lying in an incomplete or some future dated process is there. So what is the best place to check? We can come here, go to view, assignment process results, and we can pull up our employee from here.
in the same quick payroll we can delete, right?
We can, but it was not showing up over there. See, there is a prepayment which has been processed in October. So see, August run is done, but these were regular payroll run and payroll prepayments, the prepayment process. So that's why they were not showing up in the quick pay screen. So what option do I have now? One, I can roll back this, or I can run it for November. Okay. Now I can rerun this. I can roll this back from here also. I save it. So that would be gone. And this one I can mark for retry. So if I have 10, 20, 50 employees where I need to do a retry, I can do it in this way. Okay, and mark for retry. And then I have a process which is called retry run. So I'll go to request, submit a new request, retry US payroll process. So only those that have been marked for retry will appear here, not the full list of payroll processes. Now I submit it. So here it shows you status is marked for retry. We have to just wait till it completes. No, what it does is it doesn't go by employee, it goes by the process. So which process has been marked for retry? Yes. Now let's look at the SOE report first. See, our employee contribution has got calculated. And our message has come. So how much employee contribution? 616. How much voluntary contribution? 250. The spacing and all, has to be improved. Don't go by this, excuse the spacings. So then the employer contribution is 416.5. Total employee contribution is 866.5, which is showing here, which is the sum of 250 and 616. See, everybody. So it calculated on the 5,000 amount. 8.33. Or was it no 12.6? I think that was the amount. So where we can see this, we can go to view results. Employee, see, employee and employer both have got calculated. Employee contribution here is we can look at the calculation also. Let me pull up the calculator. Okay, we have 5,000 here. Okay, into 12.33%. 616.5. Where did it go? Okay, and we have 20% of 5,000, which is 250. Total is 866. Oh, voluntary is 5%. So that's why it's 55. I'm getting it jumbled. So 5,000 into 5%. 250. So 250 plus 616 is 866. And employer contribution is 8.33. So we have 5,000 into 8.33%. 416. So we get this calculation here. Okay, everyone.